Hello, I'm going to be talking about one simple math topic, but obviously can be very confusing, as even I can mess it up sometimes. So basically, I'm going to be talking about very short video because it's a very simple topic when you understand. It's going to be just like 2-3 minutes, and I'm basically going to be talking about finding the LCM with variables and exponents. And I think the key part in this is the idea of variables and exponents, because variables and exponents can be uh, a little, confusing at times when it comes to finding the LCM. So LCM, least common multiple, if no one knows. So basically, it's very simple with numbers after you understand that, but then there's another sort of thing they have to do for variables and exponents that changes the whole system. So I'm going to be doing that. So let's begin with one problem. Alright guys, so this is just one problem that I have here, and this is obviously finding the LCM, which I didn't write down, but obviously you're trying to find the LCM of these two numbers right here. So what we have is we have 4x to the second, y to the fifth, 6x to the third, it's kind of hard to see, but x to the third, y to the second. So basically, don't look at all this is just the rest of this stuff, just look at what you have, what you're given right here. And so those are your two numbers, and you want to find the LCM. So what you do to find the LCM, so it's the least common multiple. So you look at all the multiples of all the different numbers, and one of the ways that you can do that is through factors. That can give you the least common multiple, where you're trying to get some bigger number, not smaller. So you can use the factors for that. So obviously you can see through the next step is you have the factors here. These are two factors, so this is the second step. Basically, what was done here is you find out the factors for this number right here, and you find the factors for the second number too, to find the least common multiple. And least common multiple is always something higher, so that's why it needs to be taking in more numbers, not less, when you're including factors. So what you have here is you have 1, 2, another 2, and those two multiply to make 4. You have 2 x's, x to the second, and then you have 5 y's, that's y to the fifth, and then what you have here is you have 6. So the factors of that, 3, 2 makes 6. Y to the third are these 3 x's and y to the second, 2 y's. So basically, those are all the factors. So what I want to make extremely clear is this is mostly about the idea of least common multiple with the idea of exponents. So exponents, there's a different rule. So obviously when you're doing the factors and you're trying to find the multiples for these two numbers here, you want to just take in, you could just take, basically you just take the number. So obviously the way to find out the multiple is by taking in all the numbers that are included. So basically, if you have a 2, 2, 3, 2, so the common thing in this is a 2 right here, this 2. So you just take 1, 2, but then you have to include this 2, and you have to include a 3. So obviously, as you can see here, 2, 2, 3. And it's kind of just a common sense thing. Let's say we're trying to find the multiples of this. The multiples would include 6, 12. That's the second multiple. Then you have 4. 4. I'm not writing right now. 4. You have 4. Then 8. 12. That's your third multiple. 6 would be 6, 12. What's the common one? 12. You're just looking at the multiple. So very simple for just numbers. And then when you're doing variables, though, that's when things change. What you would think is that you would have these 2 x's, which include the x squared. Then you have these 3 x's right here, which include the x to the third. What you would think you're supposed to do is, oh yeah, 2 common, 2 common. We're going to group those together. You have this one left over. So we'll have x to the square, x to the third. That really is what you're supposed to do. But what you would do, just looking at this, not looking at the factors, is you'd see x to the second, x to the third. You'd think x to the sixth because you have this, and you think of it as multiples, but that's the difference with exponents. That's the important part you have to remember, because even I can sometimes make that mistake. It's just x to the third, as you can see here, because you only take 3. which you just take the grouping and then you take that leftover one and add it up and make it to the third. But because you see a 2 and a 3, oh yeah, you need to find the common things of that. You'd have 2, 4, 6, 3, can't see it here. Let's do it here. 2, 4, and 6. Then you'd have 3, 6. 6 is the common one. You think you had to put that as your exponent thing, but it's actually only to the third here. And then you do the same thing with the y's. Oh, 2 common y's because y to the second, 2 y's, y to the fifth, 5 y's. You just take 2, boom, boom, and then you have 3 left over. You get y to the fifth. That's that. And then that's basically how you do it. But obviously seeing 5 and 2, you'd think y to the 10th because 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 5, 10. So 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 5, 10. Your common one there is 10, so you think y to the 10th. That's not correct. That's not how you do it. Exponents, there's a completely different thing that's done compared to numbers. So when you're looking at exponents, just take the highest number, boom, y to the fifth, simple. X to the third, simple. Even simpler, you just take the highest number. But when you're looking at numbers, the actual like coefficient terms or just anything like that with just normal simple numbers, not exponents, you're going to be thinking your actual multiple. So that's why that doesn't mean the 4 becomes a 6. That's not how it works. It becomes 12 because second degree 6 times 2 would be 12, and then 4 times 3 would be 12. That's your highest thing. So that's basically, I just want to do this simple topic because it can be sometimes confusing, and I think this is very important to know also for like SAT and stuff. So I thought I should do this topic, and I think that's all for this video. I want to do one practice, and I think it's really simple. There's nothing like too complex about it. You just basically, I'll just summarize this in like a minute quickly. So basically what you have here, you have these two things: 4x to the second, y to the fifth, 6x to the third, y to the second. Find out all the factors of it, you put it down, you see the common ones, you take that as one number and you take the rest. So one common, 3, 2, boom, that's your simple thing. 2 common, take that, boom, to the third. Your common ones, y to the fifth. And always remember, especially when you're looking at these variables and these exponents here, you want to do just the highest thing, y to the fifth. Don't think y to the 10th because that's not really correct. So that's, I think, so do it looking at factors. I recommend you take the extra step of looking at factors and not just looking at the numbers and being like, oh, this is very simple, because sometimes you'll just get tricked up by that. So hopefully that's a simple topic to understand, just LCM when it comes with variables and exponents. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe, and that's all for this video.